what's preparation like after watching a team get 695 yards a week before?
Yeah, there's a lot of plays to go through, a lot of explosive plays. Obviously, a really talented group. You know, we've seen it before in terms of we understand what they can do. I mean, I think, you know, when we played them last year through 4 or 5 games, they were at 650. So, yeah, they're averaging 45 more now per game. So, good, really good. The quarterback's playing well. Talented group of receivers. You know, I think the backs ran really hard on Saturday. You know, made guys miss. Lacey and 12, and obviously the tight end showed up big time for them as well. So yeah, huge challenge.
How much does it help that you guys aren't playing a bunch of man coverage out on them? Just like as far as matchups are concerned, your defense against the way they like to try to play offense.
Say that one more time.
Like you guys, your defense plays them a little differently out than a lot of other defenses in the SEC. How has that created some matchup problems that maybe other teams haven't been able to create?
You know what, I can't speak on sort of anybody else's, you know, sort of defense and how they game plan and match up. You know, obviously we focus on trying to just match up their concepts the best we can, use our rules to get where we need to get to, you know, and that's what it comes down to. Fundamentally, if you follow the rules, you know, of the defense, more often than not, it's going to put you in good position. Now, if you play with clean eyes, obviously skill and talent and technique, you know, to finish off the play. That's, I think, a big factor last year was, you know, on those one-on-one deep balls. Whether you're in man or zone doesn't really matter. Once you're that far down the field, it's all man. And they competed. You know, the DBs did a great job competing down the field and made plays. We're going to have to do it again. They do a great job scheme-wise to try to create some free runners down the field. Last year we were, you know, other than the 4th and 11, you know, we were able to pretty much have a body on the body to give us a chance to compete for a one-on-one. That's the big thing, is that if you don't have somebody on a body, you know, you can't even compete for a contested catch. And so they're going to win their fair share. Our guys just have to brush it off and move the next play.
Was Alex's performance on Saturday as good as he's ever played for you guys, or kind of what are the next steps for him after that?
Yeah, obviously really pleased with Alex's performance, how fast he played. You know, he did a nice job being violent at the point of contact on his tackles, pulled his pin, you know, trusted the fact that, hey, he trusted his read and then he went. So in that regard, yes, I think he's played well for us down the stretch. You know, last year, I think Saturday was arguably, you know, probably his best game, just because of how consistent he was in everything he did all the way through the game. So need another big time performance like that this week.
Brad, he had that one play where he kind of dropped into a little soft coverage and kind of made a read and stopped the back short of the first. Is that something he's kind of added and built into his game?
Yeah, he's you know, he had a really good sort of mentor, you know, in Eric these last couple of years, who was really good in zone coverage, feel, understand, and you could really see him take another step in spring ball, you know, in terms of understanding our zone coverages, where to be, how to position his body, how to route match, how to pass, and, you know, it really showed up on Saturday.
Your line's going to see a lot more size than they did last week, more like an SEC style team. What kind of challenges is that going to pose for your defense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously anytime you face big, long, heavy bodies that, you know, they're going to lean on you all day long, it takes a toll on you. And then you throw in the tempo, the natural tempo of their offense, which is also going to just wear you out just by its nature. So you combine the two of those, you know, big, heavy bodies leaning on you, plus tempo, it's going to really wear on the D-line. You know, it's going to really stress the conditioning level. We're going to have to do our best to try to keep those guys fresh as we can, but there are going to be times that they just have to stay out there. You know, told the guys, like, if you want to get off, right, then get off. You can do it within 3 downs, 4, for Ole Miss, they'll go 4 on 4 quite a bit, especially across the 50. So you got to earn your way off. If not, you're going to be out there, you got to get the signal, you got to look at what you're getting and play fast.
What's the D-line prep been like? Because it's a young quarterback, but very talented quarterback in Simmons over there. So what's their prep been like? How getting pressure on him and making the young guy uncomfortable?
Yeah, it's that everybody wants QB pressure, but also contain the quarterback. Hey, get home, but don't let him get out. Like, it's really hard. Like, I don't think people realize how hard pass rush is. And so those guys have to really strain consistently, and then to be twitchy, to make a move, to beat a guy on an edge, could potentially open up space and an escape lane. And so it's trying to toe that balance between, okay, I'm going to rush smart and then rush conservative, because usually when you rush conservative, you don't affect the quarterback. Yeah, you can keep him in front of you, but now he's got a clean pocket, and he's able to see all those routes down the field.
Right, you say all the time, you never know for sure what you have until you put them in game situations and see the challenge. So what did you learn about this defense on Saturday in that first test?
Yeah, I mean, it's a small sample size. I was proud of how they rose up in the first half. I was disappointed, how we finished in the fourth. It wasn't sort of reminiscent of how they played through the first 3 quarters. And it's a learning moment for those guys. It's a learning moment that at no point in a game can you ever take your foot off the pedal. Can you ever feel comfortable? Can you ever get a breather? They played dialed in every time it was a 1-score game, but whenever it pushed to 2 scores, it was like there was this deceleration, and those will come back to bite you. And so it was a learning moment. I don't think anybody left that game sort of happy, which is good. I think it's good to hit the practice field with a little bit of a bad taste and sting.
Brad, when you go back and look at the numbers, last year that was the lowest that Ole Miss had in points and yards, and then even 2 years before that, that was another one of their worst offensive performances that season. Taking away the fact you guys had a dominant edge and time possession of both those games, what is it that you think that maybe y'all have figured out that a lot of other defenses just have not? Because they've embarrassed a lot of teams over the years.
Yeah, I don't think we've figured out anything. I think the guys played hard. They're going to have to play hard again. The thing that we stress with our guys, this week and every week is that, last year, the year before, all that, none of that matters. This team's a brand new team. We only have a handful of guys that were on the defense that played in those games in 22 and then last year, and so they've got to go put it on the field. They've got to earn it. They've got to feel their lungs burn, on fast-paced drives. They got to. Yeah, I don't think we figured out anything. All I know is we got to try to do the best we can to limit the explosives, and get the ball back to the offense.
Brad, stopping the run is always a big emphasis, but how important is it this week with how they play spread and all those RPOs? And it seems like they want to hit those big passes off the fakes, and that's really when they get rolling.
Yeah, it's so funny. Obviously, everybody knows the passing offense. Everybody they see the passing yards. Last year 5th in the nation in passing yards. And they're like, oh, they were only 44th in rushing, but they rushed for 295 on Saturday. This is a team that can rush the football, and they use it to the point that you're going to have to load the box to stop it, because they've got those big bodies up front. They've got good, strong backs. They put you in some isolation situations, and if you try to load inside, then they can either go up and over the top, or they can hit you with the RPO, and then pull you down and then go up and over the top. And then again, at the end of the day, you throw on the tempo on top of it. It's a lot of pieces that the guys have to put together. They've got to just stay together within a drive. That's the big piece is they're going to hit their fair share. They're going to drive the ball. They're going to move down. I think, you know, a big key last year was twice inside the red zone. One, we forced a field goal, and two, we forced a fumble. I mean, you know, that's 3 points right there in those two red zone possessions. I mean, that's the difference in the ball game. And so we've got to be willing to strain to the finish, something that we didn't do on Saturday. In the fourth quarter, I thought the guys did in the first half. You know, the 4th and 3 down there inside the red zone, huge. The 4th and 1 at midfield, huge. You know, but we've got to be able to finish off games, and we know this one is going to be a slugfest.
Okay, folks, thank you very much. You get to.
You know, what feelings do you feel, and like, what do you do to keep yourself from not getting too comfortable after making 2 very big plays that you made?
I think it's a understanding of the process that, you know, we going into a new week every week. What I did last week holds no weight this week, won't affect what goes on this week. So that's it.
Great answer. You ain't need mine. You got it.
Going against Ole Miss, I know the season opener was a big deal because it was the first game of the year, but now going to the SEC, does it feel different?
Not really. Not really. So.
But how easy will it be for you guys to all get up for this game?
I say we're preparing the same. You know, we understand this team's coming in here to try to beat us. So whatever preparation we're taking to stop that is, you know, what we're doing. I don't think we're trying to overcomplicate it or, you know, undermine them or overmine them. We're just, you know, it's just another week.
What's the biggest challenge from watching film on Ole Miss that you see from defending that type of offense?
I would say the tempo and getting away from the holding calls.
Brad said you guys didn't feel satisfied with how you played last week. Why is that?
I would say we allowed too many yards. We had a few defensive errors. You know, probably public didn't see it, but you know, it's some screws we know we could tighten.
Steven, you obviously had a big game, but even last year you really kind of impressed as kind of this edge rusher. What do you think about your game has allowed you to have success early in your career so far, kind of getting after the passer?
I would say just my motor. You know, I try to stay 150%, you know, the whole time. So my teammates see me come on the field, I just want them to know somebody's going to get to the quarterback. Somebody's going to get there.
Do you think your size, you know, you're a little undersized for that position. Mm-hmm. Do you think that helps you in some of these pass rushes, getting under tackles' pads and whatnot?
I could say that, you know, just naturally being lower, but, you know, working to get lower on top of naturally being lower helps.
We tend to think of you as kind of a pass rush specialist right now, but you make a couple of plays in coverage. So they do it. You kind of added that. You think
yes, sir. Coming in to my freshman year, I had never played linebacker, so, you know, coming into the system, hook, curl, flat, skiff, I had zero clue what that was, so it was a challenge. But, you know, going over the summer, spring, I'm comfortable with the playbook to, you know, go out there on first and second down and get some coverage reps.
It feels great, you know, going out there and playing well out there, and I'm just ready to take it into SEC play and do the same thing.
Obviously, just talk about what you've seen so far from Ole Miss on tape. Obviously, a bigger team, a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely got, you know, bigger people up front, the O-linemen, and they pretty good. The tempo, we haven't played a tempo team, so that's something about them that we're going to have to deal with.
Alex, how much did you feel more comfortable playing linebacker this first game as compared to last year?
Yeah, I definitely feel more comfortable, you know, putting some weight on and been playing that position for 2 years now, so I feel like I know the ins and outs about that linebacker spot, and I can help the younger guys around me too.
What were the benefits of that? You feel like you're playing faster,
Yeah, just trusting myself, you know, trusting my eyes, trusting my keys, and just playing faster and just exploding and just running to the ball, really.
Yeah, this will be your third time, I think, playing against Ole Miss, is that right?
Yeah.
What did you learn from those 2 games previously, and what are you maybe telling some guys who weren't on this defense here recently, like what to expect going up against this offense?
I just told them that tempo is going to be huge because not a lot of teams want that tempo like they do, and they do a good job running that tempo. So I told them they got to get their eyes to the sideline, get our singles, and just get ready to line up and just play ball.
Did you were you surprised at all when you saw the stat sheet from Saturday?
A little bit, but I knew I was playing well. I could feel it. I felt it going into the game, like right in the first snap. I knew it was going to be a good game for me.
What do you remember about last year's matchup with Ole Miss, and does any of that apply to this time?
Yeah, I feel like we matched up pretty well with them. Their offense, I feel like Coach White did a great job game planning for us to go out there and just play freely and fast, and we're going to do the same thing this year.
What have you told some of these younger guys and some of the transfers about SEC play?
Yeah, I told them it's a lot of fun. The environment is a lot of fun. You know, there's going to be our stadium's going to be packed up this Saturday, and it's going to be fun. And, you know, yeah.
Alex, what did you guys just learn about this defense as a whole when you first came?
We just learned. We just gotta keep getting better every day. You know, keep being physical. I feel like we was pretty physical on Saturday. We just gotta keep building off that, and we just gotta fix a little thing in the pass game. And in the fourth quarter, we can't just take our foot off the gas. We gotta keep going.
Coach White told us that he thought you guys were outstanding in a one-score game situation. As soon as it went to two, though, a couple of times,
yeah,
a little bit of that.
Yeah, we just gotta keep going. When we up, man, we can't just relax. You know what I'm saying? It could be a long. It was a long game, but we just can't relax. We gotta keep going and keep putting our foot on the neck.
When you say you guys took your foot off the gas in the fourth quarter, was that more fatigue, do you think, or just lack of communication?
I just think it was just we were just relaxed. I think we was too relaxed, and I didn't really like that either. I think we were just relaxed as a defense as a whole, and we just can't have that happen in the SEC play.
Do you think you will have ever played in a game with the kind of tempo you're going to see Saturday?
I actually have. So Colorado State, we did an 11-play tempo drive. I'm not sure if you ever seen Colorado State's elevation, but that was probably the worst it has ever been. So Ole Miss, it's not nothing I've never seen before, but it's something that we definitely got to prepare for.
What do you see on their tape when you guys have put on film to prep for this matchup?
I see a bunch of good O-linemen, and then so I'm excited to go against them. Number 71 is good. 50 is good, and then I'm just excited for this matchup.
Coach talked about, everyone wants to see pressures, but, keep it contained, get in the backfield, but don't let him get out. So how are you all kind of preparing to, kind of keep the gap integrity and be sure he doesn't go crazy while keeping the pressure up?
With Ole Miss being a huge RPO team, we definitely have to keep him in the pocket, and then we got to convert faster, definitely faster than what we did last week. And then so we're prepping for it, and I'm just excited.
What about the emphasis? Because there will probably be some times where the guys at the back end have to cover a little bit longer than they're used to, or you all are going to have to get upfield quicker than normal. So how are you all kind of being sure everyone's got to kind of be up a tick and be ready for a little bit of a longer slog of a game?
For that, we really just got to trust our brothers. And then after the game, I'm after practice. All we do is just run back and forth. We didn't do it as much today, but the past few days, we just been conditioned just to practice it.
Are you guys putting more of an emphasis in the trenches on power on power, or do you kind of shift the focus since they're bigger to quickness and technique?
Well, you can only do power so much before you get tired, and then when you get tired, especially against a tempo team, it's not gonna look good. So I say a lot of it is finesse and then just choosing sides, because you're not trying to run through somebody who's 350 pounds for 70 snaps.
What do your teammates tell you about last year's game, if anything at all?
I don't really ask much about it. I actually haven't asked him about it. I just watched the film from last year. Tempo, the first drive killed them, but then after that they really settled in. So then I think that's what we have to do. And then they converted only one time out of 10. So then on a third down, so we just got to do the same thing we did last year.
What's the energy like around the building since it's a very early SEC test? Some of the guys like Alex and JQ are used to it, and some guys who this is their first step into an SEC game.
I'll say the energy is about the same. I say SEC, MAC, Pac-10 or Pac-12 or whatever it was. I don't think it changes because we have a bar to set, and then we don't lower rates to nobody. We're always going to keep high.
David, in a matchup where you're playing kind of a spread offense, you're all going to be in lighter boxes, players in the box, do you feel like there's more responsibility or more importance in the defensive line to win their matchup?
Definitely with there being a lot of zone cut read and then just a lot of insert, we have to be really disciplined with just the gaps that we fill, and then it'd be first, then secondary. But we're gonna prime ourselves on our first gap.
And for you, just as a college football veteran who's played a lot of football games, just playing tempo offense, what's maybe one or two things you all have to do as a defense just to win?
First, second, third, and then get out there.
Yeah.
Because anything after that, like, we're gonna get tired. Because like the dude's up front at 300, and like we're all like 320 pounds. So going 20 straight is definitely rough on anybody. Like, I don't care like who you are.
So you're saying like once they get a first down, then things can start to avalanche? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying that the key to stopping tempo is negatives.
Okay.
And then just be able to get them off on first, second,
Gotcha.
and then third is to finish them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Everybody good?
Thank you.
All righty.
Yeah, man, I feel like nobody's perfect, but I feel like I can strive to be perfect, and I feel like that's a play I know I can make, and I got lazy with my technique and my eyes, and that's the result of that. So I know that I have to play with clean eyes every play, and that's the result I get if I don't play with clean eyes.
Is this kind of the ultimate clean eyes kind of opponent coming up this week?
Absolutely, man. Like, they have so many compliments for their routes, and like, man, they try to make this play look like the last play, and they have a great route tree as well. So you definitely have to play with clean eyes, because man, these guys it's like Coach Clifton just kind of giving them the freedom to do whatever they want to do and kind of showcase their skill set. So we definitely have to play with clean eyes, and also just trust our technique as well.
What's the mental prep been like for guys? Because there might be some instances where you'll have to cover maybe a little bit longer than you expect, so guys can get home, or they can force that 3 and out.
Yeah, I just believe, man, the harder practice is, the easier the game will be. So I tell the guys, man, like, for example, Coach White having us doing extra conditioning because it's a tempo team. So the guys, some guys is not looking forward to the extra conditioning. I'm just telling them, man, we're training ourselves for Saturday. You're gonna be happy for it come Saturday. So that's my message to it.
JQ, arguably that was probably y'all's best game y'all played with the defense maybe last year. What do you remember from that day, and what do you think worked so well for you all on that Saturday?
Man, I feel like, me personally, I felt like we was kind of on the road. It was kind of like we had. It's kind of like we was like a family kind of. I'm depending on my teammates, and like we're in an opponent atmosphere. And it's like so I say, like, we kind of got to have that same mindset. Even though we're home, we're still like, if we all play together, we play as one team, as one family, we can do amazing things, man.
How do you recreate that rally around the family kind of at home, which usually you don't have to do that here at home, but you guys have lost a few.
Yeah, I'll just say, man, just stand together. I feel like our coaching staff did a great job this offseason building that camaraderie and that family atmosphere around the team. So I feel like we're closer prior to my years prior here. I feel like we're closer at this point as a team than we have been in the past, and I feel like that's going to really help us out when we face adversity and get in critical moments.
This isn't your first SEC games, but this is a couple of your teammates' first time going into SEC play. So what's been the messaging from you and other guys to these guys realizing that this is going to be a different type of game than last week?
I'll just tell the guys, man, just trust your technique, because like you said, I've been there before. I know how it is, man. Nerve-wracking, kind of nervous. You playing a big SEC opponent, but everybody's human, man. If you go out here and trust your ability to make your plays and trust the coaching staff, man, you have ability to make plays just like the opposing team. So I just say, man, cut loose and if you make a mistake, it's okay. We all gonna make mistakes, but just cut loose and play full speed.
4 of these UK Ole Miss games in a row have come down to the final minute of play. Are you preparing yourself mentally that this 60-minute game?
Right, man. Just like last week, Toledo was a 60-minute game, and our coaches preached to us every game is going to be a dogfight. We got to come out ready to play. So I feel like, but that's like the question you asked me. I feel like I did a bad job with that last week, so I'm gonna personally take a hold of that and take accountability of that. And this week, I really pride myself on playing a full 4 quarters of football.